So I made the mistake of downloading iFunny on my phone. And this matters because apparently iFunny has been completely and totally taken over by right-wingers. So I came across this post. And, well, it's obviously taken from a TikTok. You'll be able to see how and why soon. But here.
My life to be easy, I would just fake being a liberal. TikTok permanently in the creator fund, which means I can no longer make money off my videos. It also means the hundreds of dollars that I've already made, I can no longer access. In case you were unaware, someone stating things that you don't agree with doesn't automatically mean they broke.
Hold on. I can't change the volume on iFunny because the website is garbage.
The guideline, but apparently we can't have diversity of thought in this damn country anymore. These apps are so hypersexualized. You have 15-year-old girls twerking half naked, liberals telling conservatives to kill themselves, creators from other countries bullying Americans for reasons, I don't know, maybe focus on your own country's politics for once. But God forbid we say anything about women and periods, or that our troops were mistreated, or that we love Jesus, it gets taken down. The left controls everything, and let me tell you, it is not a good look when you continue to silence those that tell the truth and lock yourselves in your own echo chamber because you can't handle differing viewpoints. You cannot report everything that hurts your feelings for the rest of your life. Learn to grow up and comprehend that people think differently. That is a reason why this country was so great. Freedom to have your own opinions. Let's get back to that.
Okay, so apparently this girl had her TikTok demonetized for some reason. And I do not know the reason. You and I are going to go on an exploratory mission into her TikTok posts in order to figure out why it may have been taken out. But there are some things that we can glean just from this. Obviously, this woman's very conservative. Typically, people who have the American flag imagery behind them, typically people who argue that liberals control everything, the left controls everything, despite the fact that right-wing news outlets exist. These people, generally, it's very easy to clock them as conservative. It's not hard. Now, again, I do not know why she was demonetized, but she does post all of her stuff onto a YouTube channel. Now, I'm not 100% certain how large this person is on TikTok, and nor do I care. But we're going to explore. We're going to explore a little bit, okay? So, stop glorifying unhealthy lifestyles. We're going to look at this one first and see what we get.
So Cosmopolitan put out magazine covers of two women who are noticeably overweight, titling it, "This is Healthy," when it's not. Also weird timing given the relationship between obesity and COVID. Now, I don't mind them being on the cover at all.
Okay, so are you going to show... You're not going to show the thing at all. So what was the title of that?
Noticeably overweight, titling it, "This is Healthy."
Okay, so... Cosmopolitan, "This is Healthy" cover. Okay. So showing two people who are obviously overweight. That's what is being said here. And while yes, this person is overweight, does that necessarily mean that they're not healthy? Well, the only person who would know that would be her doctor. And I don't think you're her doctor. And I do understand that there's an issue where body positivity is concerned. There's a fine line between being positive about somebody's body and then not showing concern if they engage in harmful behavior, like binge eating and stuff like that. So I understand that there's a fine line there, but again, you're not this person's doctor. You don't know what their story is, I don't think.
And it's not. Also weird timing given the relationship between obesity and COVID. Now, I don't mind them being on the cover at all. It's the message I don't agree with. You can feel good about yourself at whatever size you are, but feeling good about your body doesn't make you healthy.
Well, again, are you the person's doctor? There are plenty of people who look thin and look entirely healthy from that perspective, but are actually not healthy at all. In fact, the ways that they may have achieved that could be things like anorexia and bulimia, which means that there's certain underlying issues that need to be handled as well. That doesn't mean they're suddenly healthy. But I can understand being concerned, but it seems like proper context is missing from this TikTok.
Now, size has no impact on your value as a person, but it certainly has an impact on your health, and these leftist magazines need to stop conflating the two.
Is Cosmopolitan leftist? I'm not 100% certain about that one. Then again, I don't read Cosmos, so I have no way of knowing.
A lie repeated enough times will be believed and thereby repeated more. It's a
That's exactly how conservatives have done their shit for years, woman.
vicious cycle. And the same people screaming, believe in science about a multitude of things, but not this, because feelings take precedence over fact if it weakens the need for personal responsibility.
That's okay. So look, unless you are willing to actually give us any examples of that science, unless you're willing to show us where, like, in which ways these people are unhealthy, in which ways they are, aside from just their size, and you don't like their size, I can't take you seriously. You can't scream from the rafters, science, and then not give me anything to work with. And right now, you're not giving me anything to work with. You're just saying somebody's fat, and that's bad.
Now, wellness isn't a one-size-fits-all, but it certainly isn't all sizes, and obesity
Then what is the evidence you have here?
is unhealthy, just like anorexia is unhealthy. We don't get to just redefine words because we feel like it. Now we should.
Actually, we do. That is a thing, but words are not words are not prescriptive. They're descriptive. We actually do get to redefine them. But that's not the point you're trying to make.
Shame people and their health, but instead encourage each other to a fit and healthy lifestyle, not a complacency and gluttony. Stop glorifying unhealthy.
Wait, how is that glorifying gluttony? How does this glorify gluttony? Like, at what point does this glorify gluttony? Like, understandable, they are overweight, but how is this automatically gluttony? How is that a good point? That's not a good point. This doesn't tell us exactly why she was taken off of, not taken off of TikTok, but certainly doesn't tell us why she was demonetized. Let's see here. People don't have period, women do. I haven't seen this video, but I'm gonna go ahead and say transphobia. Yeah, we all thinking transphobia is what's gonna happen here? I'm thinking this is gonna be transphobia.
So there's a photo going around social media of a group of trans men, those born female transition into men, wearing tighty whities with period stains, and it's titled "People Have Periods." Someone please take me back to 2005. It was a much better time. Also, please do not refer to me as a person that bleeds. People cannot have periods. Women have periods.
But those are trans men who had periods. What? There's also more that goes into a period than just bleeding. There's cramps and hormonal fluctuations and stuff like that that can happen even when people transition to female. But, okay.
Women give birth. Stop trying to erase everything that makes us special. If you're
Nobody's erasing anything. What is this take? This is Ariel Scarcella's take as well. What is this take that people being trans erases women? Does me being behind an anime avatar erase women? Do anime jiggly boobies erase women? Are you being erased by this? How does that erase women? What?
you're getting a period, you are biologically a female. Cutting off your breast does not mean men can all of a sudden bleed for 7 days each month.
You just swapped terms there. You went from female, which is what we use as a designation of gamete sizes, we're talking about biology, to men, which is a socially constructed thing. Typically, when we're dealing with biology, we use male and female, and typically when we're dealing with gender and social construction, we're dealing with man and woman. Those are the terms that we use. By swapping these terms around, you're showing what you're doing. You're being a transphobe. You're trying to do this biological essentialism take. Oh, you're just believing in the science. Oh, you're just believing in that. But by swapping the terms around, you're throwing all your cards on the table. Now, I don't know if any of this is intentional, but the fact that they're being swapped around at all shows that the transphobia is intentional, even if the exact method isn't.
Believe in science is what you say, right? Will the next campaign slogan be not only women miscarry? Because if so, I would suggest therapy. But the thing is, feminine hygiene is a real issue.
Not only women miscarry, there are trans men who miscarry. It happens all the time. And trans men are men, not women. That's not a hot take. That's just current understanding of these things.
Issue. And women need advocacy about getting the proper products. Campaigns like this push those issues on the back burner. And honestly,
no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, the fuck it doesn't. Your Okay, no, I understand why your TikTok got hit now. It's starting to make sense. You're an absolute douche moron. Listen, Alex, listen to me, please. It's very important that you hear this. Person A getting rights and advocating for their own well-being does not mean that you are not going to get advocacy too. Human rights are not a zero-sum game. Just as black people getting rights does not have to come at the cost of whites, trans people getting rights does not come at the cost of women. You absolute snowflake.
Honestly, we don't need to see pictures of bloody crotches. It gets us nowhere. So I'll just be over.
Actually, it does. It does. It's called awareness. Now, here's the thing. Just as there is a certain level of promiscuity to something like pride, as a method of spreading awareness. Gay people exist. Maybe don't throw out your kids for being gay just because your religious holy book says that you should. This is a thing that spreads awareness. Trans people exist. There are people still in America right now that don't believe that trans people exist. But apparently you have no idea.
Over here waiting and watching the leftists pick a side between feminists and trans activists when they go to war with each other.
Wait, but a leftist doesn't have to take a side between... I'm a feminist and a trans activist! A leftist does not have to take a side between these things, you dummy! What? Oh no, it's my body, my choice for liberals, never us? Oh dear.
As if we thought these COVID restrictions couldn't get worse, listen to this. Airlines are thinking of passengers carrying passports showing they got a COVID vaccine. First of all, I'd rather drive a boat than be forced to get a vaccine in order to fly. Second, I'm pretty sure that's a HIPAA violation.
No, it's not. It's not a HIPAA violation to have it public knowledge that you have received a vaccine. It's a HIPAA violation for you if you happen to have a disability or something like that, for an airline to try to push that. But it's not a HIPAA violation for them to ask you to please have a vaccine before traveling. That's not a violation. That's just a thing countries have been doing for years, you dummy. For years, countries have been having certain... In the military, for you to be able to travel to certain countries, you have to have vaccines before you can go into those countries. This is normal. This has been going on for years. It's not my fault you're slow. It's not my fault that you're slow to catch up to the fact that reality has existed in this way for ages.
So it's my body, my choice when you want to kill your baby, but not my body, my choice when you're forced to inject a poison into your body.
She's an anti-vaxxer. She's an anti-vaxxer. Oh, it makes sense. Oh, it all makes sense. She's an she's a conservative, transphobic, anti-vax She's a conservative, transphobic, anti-vax conspiracy theorist. It all makes sense. It all makes sense. Every bit of it. Every bit of it makes sense. Vaccines are not poisons. Alex, vaccines aren't poisons. Oh my gosh. The science behind vaccines is well known. It's not my fault that you haven't caught up to the rest of the class.
So we went from 15 days to flatten the curve, to mask, to social distancing, and almost 10 months later, holidays with no family, and now you might have to get a vaccine.
Because the virus hasn't gone away yet. It's not a slippery slope if the virus isn't gone.
Vaccination for a virus with a 99% survival rate in order...
It's not about the survivability. I have friends with scarred lungs because of COVID. COVID is not a mass extinction event. It is a mass disabling event, you twerp. COVID can kill you, but it is more likely that you will suffer long-term damage from COVID. It fucks you up.
To travel, and the worst part about it is the amount of people that are obeying all of these guidelines, regardless if they work or not. So if your corrupt governor tells you to jump off a bridge, are you going to do that too?
No, because there's a difference between wearing a mask and jumping off of a bridge. But if you can't tell the difference between them, I know which one I'd like you to do.
If you're afraid of COVID killing you, understand that God has a date for you to meet him, regardless of any diseases that could affect you.
Oh my god, what? What? Yeah, no, this is why you were demonetized from TikTok, Alex. This is why. A take like, it doesn't matter if you get sick, God has a date. Do whatever stupid things you want to do. Stupid, dangerous stuff you want to do. God is gonna bring you to heaven when he chooses, no matter what. So it's okay. That is a death cult mentality, Alex. That is a death cult mentality. You are a scary individual. I do not want you teaching my children. I do not want you babysitting them. I do not want you working at a store that I go to where literally any loved one of mine at all is anywhere near your proximity. You scare me.
If COVID is making you afraid to go out and enjoy your life, maybe you need to have a little talk with Jesus, because at some point in time, you will. But let's stop ridiculing those that want to continue to live their life. If you're afraid to leave your house, no judgment. But let's stop criticizing those that don't want to stop living.
Okay, so you're not having to stop living if you just have to put on a mask when you go outside. On the off chance that you might infect somebody who might not be able to survive it. That's not difficult. Putting on a mask is not hard. Seriously, buy 7 masks, 1 for each day of the week, and then wash them with your laundry. It's not difficult. It takes no effort. And dealing with it through the course of a pandemic is not hard. It's not difficult. But apparently, to you, this is a big ask. Apparently, protecting your fellow Americans around you as you celebrate America is too big an ask. I'm done hearing about morals and unity from the left. Oh, no.
The Million MAGA March this weekend was incredible. It was an actual peaceful protest. There was no violence, looting, fires until the sun went down, and Antifa came out in full force and started attacking Trump supporters.
Is that what happened at the Million MAGA March? I don't feel like that's an accurate representation of what happened at the Million MAGA March. Everything was fine until the Antifa Nation attacked.
They waited until the crowd dispersed because they're cowards, and then started harassing families with children, beating up the elderly, shooting fireworks at people, eating dinner. That was fun. And
wait, Antifa came and started beating up the elderly? What? I don't think that's what happened. I'll have to do another video on the Million MAGA March, apparently, to cover that, because I have a big sus on that.
Setting things on fire, and unfortunately we couldn't even count on the police officers to protect us and keep us safe. And we could thank the DC mayor and the corrupt Democrats for that, for tying the police officers' hands behind their backs and allowing these terrorists to walk the streets and attack anyone that they don't agree with, because that's what the left does.
Wait, so Alex, were you actually at the Million MAGA March, and did Antifa just come out and start attacking you? Is that what happened? Can you please show me on the doll where Antifa touched you? I don't think that's what happened. Now, I could be wrong, and I will probably do a little bit of research on this later to determine whether or not I'm wrong. But right now, this sounds sus. All of this sounds sus. In fact, actually, you know what? Just because I could be wrong. Million MAGA March. Nope. Sorry, Washington Post. I don't want you here. Okay. How many of Trump supporters swarmed into Washington, D.C. this weekend for the Million MAGA March? More than 1 million, it doesn't matter. Dozens of Proud Boys, members of a violent gang of self-described Western chauvinists, knelt together in somber prayer, then hopped around while chanting, "Fuck Antifa." Minutes into the march, their rowdy procession abruptly halted for a pit stop at a Walgreens. Let's see here. Look around, blah, 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 blah. Okay, but violence. There's nothing in here about violence breaking out. Violence erupts after thousands. Let's see here. Fact check how many people attended the Million MAGA March. The only thing I'm seeing that even has violence in it is the thing from WAPO. And I really just don't want to subscribe to WAPO. So I guess I'm just gonna have to stay sus on this. I don't think that a bunch of Antifa came out and started beating your elderly.
How ironic to name yourselves anti-fascist when you are exactly what you protest against.
Okay, wait, no. Even if that happened, fascism is not just being violent, okay? Fascism is about essentially religious ultranationalism. It is the idea of having a mythic glorified past and trying to isolate and hurt other people to achieve it. Umberto Eco has a very good dissertation on fascism. It's called Fascism, or Fascism Anyone. And I would highly suggest reading that before you go trying to flippantly define fascism as just people got violent.
I am so tired of liberals lecturing me on morals when your party is allowing domestic terrorists to run the streets.
You do realize that the Proud Boys are domestic terrorists, and Trump allowed them to run in the streets. Like, the Republican Party had no problem with that for ages. Stand back and stand by, I guess.
Talk to me after fireworks are shot at you while you're eating dinner because you have a different political opinion. But until then, I don't want to hear it. The Million MAGA Marches...
So, yeah, I'm starting to see why your TikTok was taken down. Or not taken down, but demonetized. Like, realistically, it makes sense. You are an anti-vaxxer spreading anti-vax stuff. You are a Trump supporter spreading what seems to be lies about events that I have no way of verifying if you were even there at. You seem to also just be a flagrant transphobe, which means you're basically attacking a minority group. I can understand why you would have gotten your TikTok demonetized. It makes sense. As I think we solved the mystery. It makes sense. Would you, as a platform, want to pay a wage to a right-wing, though that particular state of Trump politics doesn't matter for this, an anti-vaxxer who will necessarily lead fans of hers to harm because anti-vax opinions do that, a transphobe whose opinions will necessarily lead to harm because that's how phobias work in this particular case. Transphobia, homophobia, misogyny, all of those are very damaging opinions, and it's not just you having an opinion on social media, it is you telling your fans that they should engage in certain behaviors based on your opinions. I don't know. Would you as a company want to support that? I know I wouldn't. But anyways, what do you think about all this? Do you think that this is fair? Because remember, she still has her TikTok. She's not been deplatformed. She's not been canceled. She's not been censored. She just can't make money off of her TikTok. That's it. She still has access to Patreon. She still has access to Subscribestar. She still has access to PayPal and literally every other method to get paid. She just can't get paid for what seems to be attacking minority groups. So what do you think? And after you let me know what you think, please go ahead and check the description below, see if there's any way you'd like to support my channel, if that's a thing that you want to do. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, everyone, please insert in the video tagline here.